In this video, we're going to take the POM Plus project, part 1, and we're going to build a work breakdown structure. It's going to look a lot like this in our Microsoft project file, but to do that, we're going to have to add these activities, these durations, and these predecessors. So that's our goal, is to create the hierarchy for the work breakdown structure. So beginning with the project file that has the project information, start date already loaded, and our working times. We take a look at this in the instructions, and it shows these line numbers. Now these line numbers will be equivalent to what we see over here once we start getting into the project. But looking back here, they've got these. So we're going to start here with this first task name. We're going to put POM Plus, and at this point you're going to put your name. Okay. So that'll just be your first initial, if you will, and your last name. Now, notice when I pressed enter, my tasks are in auto schedule mode, and that's what this icon shows. The duration, when I pressed enter, it just showed 1 day with a question mark, meaning it's, since I haven't given it a duration, it's estimated. And the start date came from our project information start date that we had previously entered. Okay, so that's task 1. Task 2, this is a major deliverable, a project phase, if you will, and this is going to be R&D product development. Okay, now I've gone a little bit too far, so I'm just going to double click here, and that's going to expand that. I'm just going to double click here, and that's going to contract that. Again, there's 1 day. Then what I want to do, if you notice here, these line numbers are filling in 1 and 2. So if I come back down here, and of course in the real world there are approaches to create work breakdown structures. No one's going to hand you a list of these tasks, but these line numbers are going to correspond to what you see here. Now notice there's a 7 and a 9, right? So line 8 is missing, and line 8, it's after the select fruit suppliers but before the equipment rehab. So if I come up here and if I look here and here, line 8 is actually this initial production, which is a project phase. So in the interest of time, I'm going to pause the video and then add all these. So you can see, if you look at this list, all of these items are here, and if I come down here, you'll notice that these line numbers will correspond. For example, package design is on line 16. If I come here, package design is indeed on line 16, and the last task is prepare product launch, which is line 21. Now one thing, I've got different fonts here, so I don't like that. I'm going to click on the task ribbon, and then I'm going to come here, click this box that's going to highlight the entire project file, and I'm going to change this to Arial. I just think that prints out a little bit better. It's a little bit bigger. So again, I've expanded this. I have to come here, double click, make that a little bit bigger, and I'm going to even add just a little extra. Okay, so now I've got all my tasks and I am ready to enter my duration. Before I add the task duration, I want to show you these Gantt bars. So I'm going to come here, click that, get that parallel bar, and I'm going to slide this over here, and then I'm just going to do this a little bit. So you can see this is on my start date on Monday. This is the week of January 3rd, week of January 10th. So needs survey, I'm going to click in this box. I'm going to look over here, that's 20. So I'm just going to, while this box is active, just type in 20. Now when I did that, notice that this bar extended, and if I take this and slide it out here, you can see that it went out 20 days. This helps me demonstrate, so I'm just going to compress that. Set product specs is 15. Go ahead and do that. The shelf life report is 10. The nutrition report is 5. Select fruit suppliers is 20. Now, as I said, there's no duration for initial production because that's going to be a project phase, and we're going to indent all of these, and it's going to add up, the software's going to add up the duration automatically. I'll demonstrate that in a little bit. So I come back here, leave that at 1 day estimated. Equipment rehab is 30. Production trials are 15. Quality trials are 20. And I'm going to do the rest off camera. Okay, so I have all of the tasks and all the durations, and at this point I need to create this hierarchy. So the way I do that, everything is going to be listed as part of this POM Plus project. So I'm going to come here and highlight all of these. Again, in the task ribbon, I'm going to click this button to indent these, and you notice that moved everything underneath the POM Plus. Now, these tasks from needs survey to nutrition report are part of the R&D product development phase. I'm going to go ahead and indent those. All right, and again, I'm going to keep sliding this bar. Now, you notice when I indented these, those tasks added up to 20 days in our timeline at this point. So now select fruit suppliers as its own task. Initial production has equipment rehab through quality training. So I highlight these. Now when I click indent, please notice this 1 day will increase, that estimated 1 day, then that's now 30 days. And then again, distribution, I highlight those, indent, there's 2 indented for legal. And I have begun to create my work breakdown structure.